Have you ever felt proud for finally eating healthy? More greens, more smoothies, less junk. Yet deep down, something still feels wrong. You wake up with puffy ankles, your energy dips for no reason, and no matter how clean your meals look, your body just doesn't bounce back the way it used to. Most people shrug it off as age catching up. But what if I told you, those little signs aren't about age at all? They could be your kidneys quietly crying for help. Here's the terrifying truth most doctors never tell you: your kidneys can lose up to 90% of their function before you ever feel a single symptom. That means you could be walking around today thinking you're perfectly healthy while your kidneys are fighting for their life in silence. No pain, no warning, just quiet decline until one day, it's too late. And what's even more shocking, millions of people are unknowingly speeding up that damage every single day, not with fast food, not with soda, but with the very vegetables they believe are saving them. Yes, vegetables. The so-called superfoods that flood your smoothie bowls and salad plates might actually be overloading your kidneys with hidden toxins, minerals, and acids they can no longer handle. I'm Dr. Johnny, and in this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain on the vegetables that silently sabotage your kidneys and reveal the ones that can heal and protect them instead. By the end, you'll know exactly how to build a plate that nourishes your body without pushing your kidneys toward failure. Because knowledge isn't just power, it's protection. So before you reach for that next healthy green juice or salad, stay with me. What you're about to discover in the next few minutes could literally save your kidneys and your life. Let's start with something that sits in almost every kitchen: tomatoes. Bright, tangy, and full of life. Most people think of them as the symbol of healthy eating. But here's the truth: the danger doesn't lie in the tomato itself. It lies in what we turn it into. When you crush, boil, and condense a tomato into sauce paste or ketchup, you're not just intensifying flavor, you're concentrating its minerals too. And for your kidneys, that can quietly become a ticking time bomb. Your kidneys don't mind a few fresh tomato slices in a salad, but when you eat tomato paste or thick sauce, the potassium inside skyrockets. Just 1 cup of unsalted tomato sauce can carry nearly 1,000 milligrams of potassium. That's almost half your safe daily limit if you have even mild kidney decline. And here's the scary part: most people have no idea how easily this overload sneaks in. Take Robert, a 59-year-old retiree who prided himself on eating clean. Every Sunday he'd prepare homemade tomato sauce. No preservatives, no sugar, just pure tomatoes and olive oil. It looked healthy. But each serving of that pure sauce packed over 1,500 milligrams of potassium. Within months, his blood tests showed dangerously high levels. He started feeling weak, dizzy, and short of breath. When his doctor ran an ECG, his heart rhythm was off. Classic hyperkalemia, a condition that can stop the heart in seconds without warning. Here's the science behind it. Potassium is essential for muscle and nerve function, but when your kidneys can't remove the excess, it interferes with the heart's electrical signals. It begins with fatigue or mild muscle cramps. Then suddenly the heartbeat turns irregular. That's why doctors call hyperkalemia the quiet arrhythmia. You never see it coming until it's almost too late. The fix, however, doesn't mean saying goodbye to your favorite pasta night. You just have to respect the concentration. Robert learned to keep his portions small, about 2 tablespoons of sauce per meal, and swapped thick paste for fresh diced tomatoes. He added basil and parsley for flavor instead of drowning his food in sauce. Within weeks, his potassium levels normalized, his energy returned, and dinner still felt delicious. So here's your takeaway. It's not the tomato that harms your kidneys, it's the way we overconcentrate and overconsume it. The next time you reach for that jar of heart-healthy sauce, remember Robert's story. A single ladle could quietly overload your heart's rhythm faster than you think. But only knowing this isn't enough, because the next food on our list hides in plain sight on almost every dinner table, comforting, familiar, and even more deceptive. And this one doesn't just stress your kidneys, it ambushes them from the inside out. If tomato sauce is the silent attack, then potatoes are the full-blown ambush. They look innocent, golden soft, and comforting, the symbol of home-cooked love. But for your kidneys, that warm spoonful of mashed or baked potato can be anything but comforting. What most people never realize is that a single medium baked potato can contain nearly 1,000 milligrams of potassium, and its so-called healthy cousin, the sweet potato, can climb even higher, around 1,200 milligrams per cup of mash. That means one serving alone can quietly push you past your entire safe daily limit in just one sitting. Linda, a 64-year-old grandmother, learned this lesson the hard way. She had cut out sugar-fried food and processed snacks. She truly thought she was winning her health back. But during one Thanksgiving dinner, she filled her plate with mashed potatoes, roasted sweet potatoes, and crispy red potatoes. A healthy feast, or so she thought. Within hours, her heart was racing, her chest felt tight, and she grew lightheaded. At the hospital, doctors told her she had acute hyperkalemia, dangerously high potassium that had thrown her heart's rhythm completely off balance. She was lucky they caught it in time. Here's what really happened inside Linda's body. Your kidneys are responsible for keeping potassium levels between 3.5 and 5.0 millimoles per liter, a razor-thin balance. But when they start slowing down with age, blood pressure, or early kidney decline, that balance falters. The potassium that's supposed to leave your body builds up instead, like water rising behind a dam. At first you feel weak or tired. Then suddenly that dam breaks, the heart's electrical rhythm collapses. It's like static flooding a radio signal until the music stops. But here's the part that gives you back control. There's a simple technique called leaching that can remove up to 70% of the potassium from potatoes. You just peel and dice them into small pieces, soak them in water for several hours, then boil them in fresh water, not bake or roast. It's easy, but it makes all the difference. After her hospital scare, Linda started doing exactly that, soaking, boiling, and cutting her portions to about a quarter cup per meal. She also swapped her triple potato dinners for leached potatoes with low potassium sides like cauliflower or cabbage. Within a few weeks, her potassium levels stabilized, her heartbeat normalized, and she told me, "Doctor, I never knew a simple potato could be that dangerous." So yes, you can still enjoy your potatoes, but with respect. Treat them like medicine, just enough to comfort you, never enough to hurt you. And always remember, the most dangerous foods aren't the ones that taste bad, they're the ones that feel safe. But only knowing this isn't enough, because there's another so-called superfood that hides behind a health halo, praised by athletes, adored by wellness blogs, yet capable of quietly scarring your kidneys from the inside out. And once you hear what it's doing in your morning smoothie, you'll never look at it the same way again. If potatoes are the comfort food that quietly overloads your kidneys, then beets are the fitness food that fools even the healthiest eaters. They're bright, beautiful, and often praised for their ability to boost blood flow, lower blood pressure, and enhance endurance. You'll find them in gym smoothies, detox cleanses, and Instagram perfect juices, all marketed as superfoods. But here's the twist: what's great for your heart can sometimes be terrible for your kidneys. Beets are loaded with two things your kidneys hate in excess: potassium and oxalates. One glass of beet juice can contain between 450 to 600 milligrams of potassium, and that's before adding powders or concentrates, which can push those levels even higher. For a healthy kidney, that's fine. But for anyone with even mild kidney strain, high blood pressure, or early-stage CKD, that extra load becomes a silent stress test your body didn't sign up for. And that's only half the story. The real villain here is oxalate, a natural compound that binds with calcium to form razor-sharp crystals inside your kidneys. Those crystals scratch, inflame, and block the delicate filters that clean your blood. That's exactly what happened to David, a 48-year-old fitness coach who believed beet juice was his secret performance weapon. Every morning he'd drink a tall glass before training, no sugar, all natural. For a few weeks he felt unstoppable, stronger, faster, sharper. Then the pain started. A dull ache in his lower back, cloudy urine, and fatigue that no rest could fix. When his doctor ran tests, David's kidneys were inflamed, his creatinine had skyrocketed, and scans revealed tiny oxalate crystals clogging his nephrons, the filters responsible for keeping the blood clean. The diagnosis: acute oxalate nephropathy, in plain words, kidney injury caused by too many beets. It took months of treatment and hydration therapy before his kidneys recovered, and the first advice he got afterward was painfully simple: never touch beet juice again. Now let's talk science. Beets naturally contain about 152 milligrams of oxalate per 100 grams. When you juice or powder them, you remove the fiber but keep the oxalate, meaning it hits your system faster and harder. The concentration skyrockets, and instead of helping you detox, it does the opposite. It blocks your kidneys from detoxing at all. Medical journals have documented cases just like David's healthy people developing kidney failure within weeks of daily beet smoothies. So what's the safe way to enjoy beets moderation and balance? Eat them occasionally in small portions, never daily, and always pair them with calcium-rich foods like yogurt or cheese, which bind oxalates in your gut before they ever reach your kidneys. Skip the powders, skip the concentrated juice shots. Your kidneys don't need that kind of intensity, because here's the reality: sometimes the most colorful foods hide the darkest dangers. Beets may paint your juice red, but they can leave your kidneys scarred. But only knowing this isn't enough, because the next vegetable doesn't just harm your kidneys slowly, it can destroy them almost overnight. And the scariest part, it looks harmless, tastes sweet, and might be sitting in your favorite dessert right now. Stay with me, the truth about rhubarb will shock you. If beets can quietly injure your kidneys over time, rhubarb can strike like lightning. On the surface, it looks innocent: bright red stalks, glossy leaves, and a tart sweetness that turns pies, jams, and crisps into family favorites. But beneath that cheerful color lies one of the most dangerous plants your kidneys will ever face. Rhubarb is nature's master of disguise. One single cup of diced stalks can contain over 1,000 milligrams of oxalates, more than 20 times what a sensitive kidney can safely handle in a single day. Here's how fast things can go wrong. Once those oxalates enter your bloodstream, they bind with calcium and form microscopic needles, sharp crystals that scrape and clog the kidney's delicate filters. The result: sudden intense inflammation and blocked urine flow. That's exactly what happened to Sarah, a 56-year-old teacher who loved baking. During springtime, she made her famous rhubarb crisp for 3 family gatherings in one weekend. By Monday morning, she woke up nauseous, dizzy, and in agonizing pain. She could barely urinate. At the hospital, doctors discovered her kidney function had plummeted. Under the microscope, they saw what looked like sand grinding inside her filters, oxalate crystals cutting through tissue like glass shards. The diagnosis: acute oxalate nephropathy. Her kidneys were literally shutting down. Sarah spent weeks on temporary dialysis before her kidneys slowly began to recover. Her doctor gave her a lifelong rule that day: no more rhubarb ever again. Here's why rhubarb is uniquely dangerous. When oxalate floods the system, your kidneys rush to flush it out. But once the concentration surpasses what they can handle, those crystals clump together, slicing through renal tissue. And unlike potassium overload, which builds gradually, rhubarb's effect is sudden, like pulling the plug on your body's filtration system. Cooking or baking doesn't save you. It can actually make the oxalate denser per bite because of water loss during heating. So what can you do instead? If you crave that tart, refreshing flavor, reach for safer substitutes: cranberries, apples, or berries. They deliver the same tangy satisfaction without the oxalate overload. Especially for anyone with chronic kidney disease, high creatinine, or a history of kidney stones. Rhubarb isn't just risky, it's a red flag waving danger. Next time you see that perfect slice of rhubarb pie glowing on a bakery shelf, remember Sarah's story: a dessert that looked harmless nearly destroyed her kidneys overnight. But only knowing this isn't enough, because the next vegetable is even trickier. It doesn't just strike once it attacks your kidneys from both sides at the same time. It's green, it's praised as healthy, and it's probably sitting in your fridge right now. Stay tuned. Swiss chard might be the double-edged threat hiding on your plate. If rhubarb is a single bullet to the kidneys, Swiss chard is a double shot. It's the leafy green that wears a halo: glossy leaves, vibrant stems, and a superfood reputation that floods plant-based diets and detox menus. On the outside, it looks like nature's gift to health. But for your kidneys, it's a quiet overload that strikes from 2 directions at once. That's because Swiss chard is packed with both potassium and oxalates, the 2 compounds that most overworked kidneys struggle with the most. 1 cup of cooked Swiss chard can hold nearly 1,000 milligrams of potassium, about as much as a whole baked potato, and over 200 milligrams of oxalates. To a healthy body, that's just another nutrient-dense meal. But for anyone with declining kidney function, high blood pressure, or even mild dehydration, this leafy superfood can become an invisible burden that the kidneys simply can't process fast enough. I'll never forget Michael, a 62-year-old retiree who came to me confused and exhausted. He had switched to a plant-based diet after his doctor warned him about cholesterol. Every day he filled his plate with sautéed Swiss chard, olive oil, garlic, the works. He thought he was protecting his heart. But 2 months later, his blood pressure spiked, his potassium levels shot up, and a scan revealed his first kidney stone. The very vegetable he believed was saving him was actually hurting him from both sides. Scientifically, here's why. Excess potassium in the blood disrupts the heart's electrical rhythm, causing hyperkalemia, the same silent arrhythmia we discussed earlier. At the same time, oxalates bind with calcium to form crystals that can block urine flow and scar the kidneys. When both compounds rise together, the kidneys are forced to fight a two-front war, balancing electrolytes while filtering out crystal-forming waste. Over time, that battle leads to exhaustion and eventual failure. Can you still eat Swiss chard? Technically, yes, but only in small, cautious doses. Boiling the leaves can reduce some soluble oxalates, but potassium mostly stays intact. And juicing. That's the worst thing you can do. It concentrates both oxalate and potassium into a single glass, a pure overload your kidneys will never thank you for. Michael learned his lesson and made a simple change. He rotated his greens. Instead of eating Swiss chard daily, he switched to cabbage, kale, and lettuce, which offer fiber and vitamins without overloading his kidneys. Within weeks, his potassium levels normalized and his energy returned. It's a powerful reminder, more greens don't always mean more health. The wrong greens can hurt as much as the right ones heal. But only knowing this isn't enough, because the next vegetable takes the danger even further. It's worshipped around the world as a king of nutrition, featured in smoothies, soups, and salads. Yet for your kidneys, it can be a silent assassin hiding in plain sight. Stay with me, because spinach, the so-called hero of greens, may actually be the villain your kidneys fear most. If Swiss chard is the double threat, spinach is the silent assassin lurking behind a superfood label. Celebrated worldwide for being low in calories, high in nutrients, and a staple in green smoothies, salads, and even baby food, spinach has earned a reputation as the ultimate health hero. But here's the harsh truth few people realize: for kidneys under pressure, it can be a slow-moving disaster hiding in plain sight. Spinach is loaded with oxalates, some of the highest concentrations in the plant kingdom. Just 100 grams of raw spinach contains around 170 milligrams of oxalates, nearly 20 times what a sensitive kidney can safely process in one day. And here's the kicker: nobody eats just 100 grams at a time. When you blend a handful of spinach into a smoothie, you're consuming the equivalent of 3 to 4 cups in a single gulp. That's over 2,000 milligrams of oxalates hitting your system all at once. Take Jennifer, a 34-year-old yoga instructor who believed she was doing everything right. Every morning for 6 weeks, she drank a fresh, organic spinach smoothie. At first, she felt amazing energy soared, focus sharpened, skin glowed. But slowly, subtle symptoms crept in: fatigue, nausea, a dull ache in her lower back. When she finally went for testing, her kidneys were clogged with oxalate crystals, her filtration rate had dropped, and she was diagnosed with acute oxalate nephropathy. Temporary dialysis was required to give her kidneys a chance to recover. Here's the science behind it. Oxalates bind with calcium to form sharp microscopic crystals that lodge in the kidneys, damaging filtration tubules and blocking urine flow. Over time, these tiny injuries accumulate, leading to kidney stones, chronic pain, and eventually kidney failure. Cooking can reduce some oxalates, but not enough to make high-dose smoothies safe. The real solution is diversity and moderation. Rotate your greens, use kale, cabbage, or lettuce, instead of relying on spinach daily, and mix low oxalate options like cucumber, zucchini, or parsley into your smoothies. Jennifer learned that health isn't about following trends blindly. It's about understanding balance. Once she removed raw spinach from her daily routine, her energy returned, her labs normalized, and she regained confidence in her diet. But only knowing this isn't enough, because while these vegetables silently sabotage your kidneys, there are others that can actually protect and heal them naturally, gently, powerfully, and without risk. Stay with me, because the next section reveals the vegetables that don't just avoid harm, they actively defend your kidneys. After hearing about so many vegetables that silently harm your kidneys, it's easy to feel discouraged, thinking every plant on your plate could be a threat. But the truth is, not all greens are enemies. Some are quiet healers, helping your kidneys recover and even strengthen over time. One of the best examples is cauliflower, humble, often overlooked, and surprisingly powerful. Cauliflower doesn't stand out like beets or spinach, but beneath its pale, simple surface lies one of the most kidney-friendly vegetables you can eat. It's naturally low in potassium, phosphorus, sodium, and oxalates, the exact combination your kidneys need to stay balanced. 1 cup of cooked cauliflower contains only about 88 milligrams of potassium and 20 milligrams of phosphorus compared to the 1,000+ milligrams hidden in potatoes or spinach. Take Margaret, a 67-year-old woman who came to my clinic feeling hopeless. Her creatinine levels were rising, her energy fading, and she feared dialysis was just months away. We didn't overhaul her diet completely. We simply replaced her nightly mashed potatoes with creamy cauliflower mash, flavored with a touch of garlic and olive oil. Within 6 weeks, her lab numbers began to shift. Potassium stabilized, creatinine dropped slightly, and for the first time in years, she no longer woke up with swollen ankles. The science behind cauliflower's healing power is clear. It belongs to the cruciferous vegetable family rich in sulforaphane and glucosinolates, compounds that reduce inflammation and activate detoxifying enzymes in the liver and kidneys. In other words, cauliflower doesn't just avoid harm, it actively helps your body fight back. Cauliflower is also incredibly versatile. Roast it, mash it, steam it, or turn it into rice, it absorbs flavors beautifully, whether with garlic, herbs, or a light drizzle of lemon. Each serving gives your kidneys a gentle break while letting you enjoy real, satisfying food. But only knowing this isn't enough, because there's another colorful vegetable that doesn't just protect your kidneys, it shields your heart and blood vessels too. Its secret weapon lies in its vibrant red color. Stay with me, because next we'll uncover the power of red bell pepper, your kidney's bright, unexpected ally. After learning how cauliflower quietly heals from the inside out, let's turn to something a little more colorful, the humble red bell pepper. Bright, crisp, and sweet, it's more than just a garnish for your salad or stir-fry. For kidney health, red bell pepper is a true powerhouse, offering protection not just for your kidneys, but for your heart and blood vessels as well. Most people think of peppers as simple flavor boosters. But here's what makes red bell pepper extraordinary. It's low in potassium, phosphorus, and sodium, meaning your kidneys don't have to overwork to filter it. Yet it's packed with vitamin C, beta-carotene, flavonoids, and lycopene, all antioxidants that fight inflammation and oxidative stress, the silent forces that chip away at kidney cells day after day. 1 cup of chopped red bell pepper contains only about 250 milligrams of potassium, yet delivers over 150% of your daily vitamin C. That's a win-win your kidneys can actually celebrate. Take George, one of my long-term patients. He was 61, dealing with stage 3 chronic kidney disease and high blood pressure. He used to load his meals with tomato sauce, thinking it was healthy. When we swapped that for diced red bell peppers, roasted, sliced, or blended into soups, his potassium levels balanced out. His blood pressure dropped by 10 points, and he told me, "Doctor, I finally feel lighter after eating." The beauty of red bell peppers is how easy they are to incorporate. Slice them raw into salads, roast for a smoky sweetness, or stuff with grains and herbs for a complete kidney-friendly meal. They're proof that eating for kidney health doesn't have to be bland. It can be colorful, flavorful, and deeply satisfying. So when you reach for flavor, skip the ketchup or high-sodium sauces. Reach for the real thing, red bell peppers. They don't just make your food look alive, they help keep you alive. But only knowing this isn't enough, because the next ingredient doesn't just flavor your meals, it can literally lower blood pressure and calm inflammation that damages your kidneys from within. Stay tuned, because next we'll talk about garlic, the ancient healer with modern proof. After the sweetness and color of red bell peppers, let's turn to something smaller, humbler, yet infinitely powerful: garlic. For thousands of years, it has been treasured not just as a flavor, but as a medicine. Ancient healers used it to fight infections and purify the blood long before modern science could explain why. Today, research confirms what tradition always knew. Garlic is one of the most potent kidney protectors you can find in your kitchen. The secret lies in its organosulfur compounds, especially allicin, which is released when you crush or chop a fresh clove and let it rest for about 10 minutes. Inside your body, allicin acts as a natural anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and mild blood thinner, a triple shield that directly protects your kidneys from three of their biggest enemies: inflammation, oxidative stress, and high blood pressure. Take Patricia, a 60-year-old woman with stage 3 kidney disease. Her blood pressure was stubbornly high, even on medication. She began adding 2 crushed cloves of raw garlic to her meals daily. Within 3 months, her systolic blood pressure dropped from 150 to 135 mmHg, and her inflammation markers improved dramatically, all without changing her prescriptions. It was her food, not new drugs, that made the difference. Studies published in the Journal of Hypertension and the American Journal of Nephrology support these findings, showing that regular garlic consumption can reduce systolic blood pressure by 8-15 points and lower oxidative stress in people with chronic kidney disease. That means less strain on your nephrons, the tiny filters, keeping your blood clean. The best part, garlic gives you flavor without adding salt, so every meal seasoned with fresh garlic is also a meal that protects your kidneys. Crush it, let it breathe, and let your kidneys breathe easier too. But only knowing this isn't enough, because the next vegetable does more than help. It trains your kidneys to protect themselves from future damage. Stay with me, because Cabbage, the quiet underdog, holds a secret that could change how your body defends against kidney injury. After discovering garlic's ancient healing power, you might think nothing in the vegetable world could top that. But there's one more hero, quiet, unassuming, and often overlooked in the produce aisle: cabbage. This humble vegetable doesn't just help your kidneys, it actually teaches them to protect themselves. Cabbage is naturally low in potassium, phosphorus, sodium, and oxalates, giving your kidneys nourishment without adding any extra workload. But its real power lies deeper. Like cauliflower, cabbage is a cruciferous vegetable rich in sulforaphane, a compound that activates your body's internal defense system known as NRF2. When NRF2 switches on, your cells produce their own antioxidants and detox enzymes, repairing damage and neutralizing toxins before they can harm your kidneys. Take George, one of my long-term patients battling chronic inflammation and early kidney decline. We didn't overhaul his diet overnight. We simply added small portions of steamed cabbage 3 times a week in soups, stir-fries, or lightly sautéed with garlic and olive oil. Within a few months, his inflammation markers dropped, his energy improved, and his eGFR, a key measure of kidney function, inched upward. He told me, "Doctor, I didn't expect a vegetable this cheap to make me feel this good." Modern research backs this up. Clinical studies confirm that sulforaphane-rich foods like cabbage can reduce oxidative stress and even slow kidney function decline in people with mild to moderate CKD. Its high fiber content also supports gut-mediated waste elimination, taking pressure off the kidneys naturally. Cabbage proves that healing doesn't have to be complicated, costly, or extreme. It's gentle, reliable, and accessible, exactly what your kidneys need most. You can eat it raw in coleslaw, steamed with herbs, or lightly sautéed. Whichever way you prefer, your kidneys will thank you. But only knowing this isn't enough. Because while we've explored vegetables that silently damage your kidneys and others that protect them, there's still a massive myth about detoxes that has fooled millions. Stay with me, because in the next section, I'll reveal why your kidneys are already the ultimate detox system and what they truly need instead. Now that you've learned which vegetables silently harm your kidneys and which ones actively protect them, remember this: small, consistent choices can make a lifetime of difference. You don't need perfection, you just need progress. Swap tomato sauce for roasted red peppers, mashed potatoes for creamy cauliflower, salt for crushed garlic, and daily spinach smoothies for a variety of low-oxalate greens. Every single choice you make sends a message to your body: I am listening, I am taking care of you. Before you go do something for your future self, save this video so you can revisit it anytime you need guidance. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Every week, I share the latest medical insights, kidney-friendly food tips, and practical strategies backed by science and real patient stories. Your next breakthrough in kidney health could be in the very next video. And here's the final thought I want you to carry with you. Your kidneys may be silent, but they're always listening. Treat them with care, feed them wisely, and they will keep you strong, energized, and thriving for years to come. I'm Dr. Johnny. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring. And I'll see you in the next video, where we uncover the morning habits that can either save your kidneys or quietly sabotage them.